The email that destroyed my future accidentally exposed something my university never wanted anyone to see. Part 5. The dean was sitting there with another administrator I didn't recognize. The first 5 minutes were normal. They asked how I was doing. They asked about my classes. They said they wanted to support me through this difficult process. Then the tone changed. We understand you have been discussing scholarship decisions with other students. I nodded. Yes. Can I ask why? Because I'm trying to understand why mine was removed. The dean smiled. We understand your frustration. I was starting to hate that sentence. Everyone said it right before avoiding the actual question. I'm not asking for special treatment, I said. I'm asking for an explanation. The other administrator spoke. You need to be careful about making assumptions. I'm not making assumptions. You've been sharing documents. I've been sharing information that was already available. That information may have been obtained improperly. That caught my attention. Are you saying the university accidentally posted confidential information and I'm responsible for seeing it? Nobody answered. That silence told me everything. The dean folded his hands. We just want to make sure this doesn't become something bigger than it needs to be. That sentence bothered me more than any threat could have. Because it wasn't about solving the issue. It was about controlling the situation. Before I left, the dean said, We hope you'll consider focusing on your academics. I looked at him. I'm trying to focus on my academics. Your decision is the reason I might not be able to continue. Neither of them responded. After that meeting, I knew I couldn't handle this alone. I contacted a student newspaper reporter. Not because I wanted attention. Actually, I was terrified of attention. But I needed someone independent. The reporter's name was Rachel. I sent her a short email explaining that I had documents regarding scholarship decisions and financial reporting concerns. I expected her to ignore it. She didn't. She responded the next morning. I've heard similar concerns from students. Can we talk? We met off campus. I gave her everything. The scholarship email, the spreadsheet, the timeline, the board meeting recording, the documents Daniel provided. She didn't immediately say, This is a huge scandal. That actually made me trust her more. She asked questions. A lot of questions. How do you know this document is authentic? Who else has access? Can the university explain this? Have you given them a chance to respond? She was careful. That mattered. Because I didn't want a dramatic story. I wanted the truth. A few days later, Rachel contacted the university for comment. And almost immediately, everything changed. The university sent an email to students. A vague announcement about misinformation circulating online. They didn't mention my name, but everyone knew. Then my student account temporarily lost access to certain financial documents. The same documents I had been viewing before. I called IT. They told me it was a system update. Funny timing. Very funny timing. Then Rachel called me. Her voice sounded serious. I found something. What? The university submitted a financial report last year. Okay. There's a section about restricted scholarship funds. My heart started racing. And the numbers don't match the internal documents you gave me. How different? She paused. Enough that it can't just be a formatting issue. I sat there silently, because that was the first time someone outside the situation confirmed what we suspected. Something was wrong. But then she said, There's something else. What? The person who approved the report. She stopped. Who? The same administrator who signed off on your scholarship revocation. I felt cold, because suddenly everything made sense. The person who said the university had no choice, the person who approved the cuts, the person who controlled the explanation, was connected to the financial documents themselves. But the biggest twist came 2 days later. Rachel called me and said, I found out why your scholarship was specifically targeted. I expected her to say something about my appeal, about the spreadsheet, about the questions I asked. I was wrong, because the reason had nothing to do with what I found. It was about something I had unknowingly done months earlier. Something completely unrelated. Something that put me on their radar before I ever looked into the finances. And when she told me what it was, I finally understood why they were so desperate to make me stop. When Rachel told me she found out why my scholarship was targeted, I expected some complicated explanation. I thought maybe my name had been flagged because I submitted a certain type of appeal. Maybe someone misunderstood something I wrote. Maybe there was some technical mistake. I was prepared for almost anything. What I wasn't prepared for was hearing, You were already on their radar before the scholarship decision. I sat there holding my phone. What does that mean? Rachel took a breath. Do you remember the student survey you filled out last semester? I frowned. What survey? The one about student experiences with financial transparency. I thought back. Then I remembered. It was a completely normal-looking survey. Maybe 10 minutes. Questions about whether students understood university spending, whether they felt informed about budget decisions. Things like that. I filled it out, I said. Did you write anything in the comments section? I felt my stomach tighten. Maybe. I opened my laptop and searched through old files. Then I found it. The survey response. At the end, there was an optional comment box. I had written, Students trust the university with millions of dollars. If budget problems affect students, the university should explain where the money is going instead of just announcing cuts. That was it. One paragraph. I didn't even remember submitting it. Rachel continued. The survey results were apparently compiled into an internal report. Okay, And your response was one of the examples used in a discussion about student dissatisfaction. I laughed, not because it was funny, because I couldn't believe it. You're telling me my scholarship was revoked because I wrote a comment on a survey? No, she corrected herself. Not directly. That distinction mattered. Part 6 is posted.